ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Great Village Project. So, we're kind of looking away from the village for the moment because I wanted to show this off and just not have it just pop up immediately. So the first thing we've actually built is this bridge here. I don't remember if we did this in the previous episode, but it basically runs from over near the. This is going to be. I'm going to be using Railcraft buildings as workshops because they're relatively spacious. You can see a little bit more bridge over that way. Get to that in a second. They're fairly spacious and they can be easily modified. But this just runs over across this portion of water, allows us access to this farm here. But it also comes over here, and then this smaller bridge gives us some access to the roguelike dungeon over here. I built a second furnace here and converted the crafting table into a crafting station. I haven't really gotten a huge quantity of technical work done because I'm still working on getting supplies going. I also built over this way. I knocked out all these stone slabs and redid the floor with half a slab, and then the other half I made into this little walkway around here and this little walkway around here, allowing me access around through here. And I put up a ladder so we can actually get up to the top of the workshop here. Now you'll notice down here we've actually got I tweaked this so that I could actually just go ahead and just walk straight up here. And we got an immersive engineering crate with most of our ores. I actually need to grab the other couple of ores out of this chest and dump that in there. There we go. We do have some poor tin ore. We also have, let's see, some poor gold ore. If we press, oops, you on it. Hello. Hang on. There we go. Press U on it. We can. Those don't work quite right, but we can get 2 gold nuggets out of every one we smelt, and it directly smelts into the 2 nuggets in the Tinker Smeltery. Now I've been busily building these little elevated bridge platforms as much to free the villagers trapped in the various housing here as to easily allow me to maneuver around the city. So now we have access to both of these farm platforms. That tree's in the way. We got sugarcane planted over here. I did, in fact, install Ender Core, which allows me to right-click and harvest crops, which is useful. I thought I saw something over there. Now, I came over here and built this house. And I know several people have commented that birchwood doesn't really look good with anything else. Oh, excuse me. It's kind of late at night here. However, I think this is actually polished diorite on a carpenter's block to give it that little vertical slab look. And then this is prismatic diorite, which, oops, bumped the mouse. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's called that, but, and then polished, and then pillared diorite, and then quarried block flooring, because, well, it just looked nice. Carpenter's doors with more quarried stone. I was going to go with diorite, but it just didn't look right on the doors. And then birch wood. Is that saying oak wood? Okay. But birchwood pillars, and then birchwood stairs, and slabs on the roof. I don't know why that's giving us wrong information, but there you go. I don't think it looks too bad. It's not quite. It doesn't quite match the rest of the architecture, but that texture, all the other buildings, but that's all right by me. And see, we can just right-click, and it's supposed to harvest the. Do I have? Yeah, I do. I was testing stuff and needed magnet. These guys are stupid. They keep falling into. They keep falling into the water. He says, falling into the water himself. Wasn't this one? That house is connected, isn't it? I could have sworn that house was connected somewhere. No, it's not. Alright, well, I will connect that. You know what? We can actually do that right now. Need to get back to a walkway. Thank you. Nope, stop. I keep getting villagers drown. I keep getting A, villagers drowning, and B, if I come over here, you can see we've had 3 separate villagers fall into the lava, or fall into the smeltery and melt themselves. Wood. I need some oak wood. I need some oak wood slabs. I started actually to build. How do I want to do this? Okay, stop it. Thank you. Right, and then we'll go here, and I waffle a bit on exactly which sort of. Oh, that was perfect. Housing or structure I want to build for the walkway sometimes. Like some of them have different ones than others. 10 fish for an emerald, or 19 wheat for an emerald. That guy's actually got a pretty good trade. Now, I actually intend to eventually run at least a single rail line for passengers between various villages. This one's a bit of a long trip. You can see I've got 2 stacks of rails. Unfortunately, if we look over here, the mining village is 600 meters away, which is 600 lengths of track. What I may end up doing is building a fake tunnel, because I'm going to use a Steve's cart rather than a railcraft train. Because A, I can actually use a Steve's cart as a surprisingly powerful locomotive, or I can actually build myself a personal minecart, which I can basically drive at will. He's not. Alright, fair enough. Right, so I'll be able to jump in my cart and book it along the rail lines at full speed, basically wherever I need to go. And if I feel like it, I can actually set up fake rail lines, fake passenger lines. But this pathway also continues over here, and it continues all the way to the, there we go, land over here. Excuse me. Eventually, I wanted to run. One of the things I want to do is actually run the rail lines from the railcraft houses to railcraft houses, which actually makes it a little bit longer to run, because you can see over there, that purple one is actually mining workshop. It's 600 meters away from. Yeah, so it's just over 600 meters away from each other, and I basically have to go from here and then all the way across this, past the meteor, and to this point, which isn't really as bad as it seems. And I need to go out and check out this island, because I haven't been out there yet. But one of the other objectives we're after is passability. Sort of, the idea is to make the villages not unreasonably livable, so you would actually expect the villagers to be able to utilize the village. That's not quite what I had in mind, but you know what, that is fine. So, and to that end, I actually went up here and corrected this pathway up. It was jagged and impassable. It was impassable for a player, which means it was completely impassable for a villager. And I added this oak wood log supports here. Probably could have gone down with it, but it's alright. And then you just jump up here, and actually move the door from over here to over here. And made this... excuse me. Made this house accessible to the villagers. I did discover something interesting. And one thing about having cave control installed is that caves are everywhere. And I didn't actually change anything other than to reduce the occurrence of ravines in the background, but this cave actually comes out at the top of this house here, which is a rather interesting place for it to come out. I don't think there's anyone or anything in there, so let's see. If we go upstairs, or up this slope here, and then up here, I actually leveled this out. It was actually all the way up there following the curve of this mountain. Gravel here was actually above the stair ledge here. But we have yet another growth craft building. There's actually two in this village, I think. Growth craft is something I wanted to I added because I wanted to play with it, and I haven't really had a chance to do so yet. Out the door, thank you. Oops. But after this, the village just sort of stops, which is fine. Now, if we come over this way, and actually up over the mountain here, you can actually see that there's one lonely house here, which is not only totally inaccessible, but actually has a path that, can I make it? Yes, I can. How? Goes up over this mountain for no good reason. So I wanted to try and avoid tearing down any of the buildings, but I may go ahead and just knock this one down and cut the path off there, basically. Just remove that gravel and make it look like there was never a path there to begin with. I didn't, like I said, didn't want to do that, but it serves no purpose. I can't even get into it, all things considered. Well, okay, I can, because I'm smart. But, yeah, it's this tiny little house that's impassable. There's no way anyone can live in here without dying horribly, and actually trying to connect it to the rest of the village would be an incredibly difficult task. As you can see, like I said, there's little caves just scattered everywhere. Oh, hi. Here's some sword. Yeah? Some more? Right, so... Alright, you know what? I am going to cut this here. I will be right back.
Sorry about that,
guys. Yeah, so... They aren't really most of them aren't really huge caves. I keep getting this forestry copper confused with vanilla iron, and it gets a little irritating, especially when it's dark. This is blue topaz. I need a better pickaxe, but I'm not really sure what that's for. I haven't gotten quite into Ars Magica 2 just yet. I like Ars Magica 2. It's a fun mod, but I haven't played with it in a while. That house needs to either... I don't know. I might just move it down. Just take the whole thing and move it down, probably over one block. So it's not so tight up against this house, but we'll see. The other thing I want to do is head over to the mining village, and since it's such a long walk, I'm just going to teleport there. But dropped to the workshop here. Oh, I've been using this cart. Now, I did move one chest with immersive engineering crates. And that's a chest worth of stuff from the mine shaft, which is over this way. And I've been sleeping in this house. The mining village is actually going to end up being... I'm going to set this one up as an with MFR mining lasers eventually, because it will just continue to do that. But I came over here and I built what I believe is an absolutely epic mine shaft here, and it's a 3x3 center with oak wood pillars and fencing all the way down. And then this ladder goes all the way down, but it stops here and into, excuse me. I know what happened. I need to, not that. Yeah, I need to punch out this and not that. Excuse me. Replace it with a slab. And there we go. And now we can have access to this cave, which goes for quite a bit of distance, and then immediately turns downwards, which is, you know, rather a sharp drop right here. So, yeah, I haven't really gotten any exploration done down there. You can see light down there, which connects to a cave further down, I believe. Let me see. But yeah, the mine shaft basically allows me access to this cave, and excuse me, gives me the option to explore. I can basically put in one of those landings anywhere I wanted. Down here is a second cave, and ow, the entrance to that is right here. Right, I didn't actually test the entrances here that well, so, but yeah, this is a, you can actually see this torch from, oh, hi. Ow. Right, come here, you. You want some of this? Well, too bad, you can't have any. See? Right. Kill this guy, so, ow. Not hanging around next time we show up, but there's a little bit of immersive engineering silver here. I could have sworn magnesium had a special ability where you could make it into something along the lines of flint and steel, but I guess that's either no longer the case, or it's been tweaked. As you can see, we're actually fairly close to redstone already. Oops. Have not seen any diamonds yet, but that's not entirely a impossible thing for us to locate. Again, I don't want to really do too much mining on camera, but we're out of coal, and I didn't bring any, or out of torches, and I didn't bring any coal. Yeah, shimmering. I'm not entirely sure what shimmering mushrooms do. I know you can make mushroom stew, and that's pretty much it. Alright, well, that's kind of interesting to know. I figured they would have had some better use. Oh, there's some coal. Why am I doing that? Don't use that. Use this. Yeah, this hammer is ludicrously powerful. I mean, I put, let's see. We have a, steel hammerhead to give us a cobalt mining level. One plastic large plate with 1500 durability and the tough modifier. I'm not sure what tough does. And a stone large plate for the stone bound modifier, and a wooden tough rod, which doesn't really do anything. But we have a total durability of 7,000 and an effective durability of 9,000. So, yeah, and that's before I apply any additional modifiers. This thing will basically mine anything I want to mine. So, I can literally punch holes in the world, and this hammer is happy to allow me to do So, um, what? Why has my whale abandoned me? Hello. Here we go. I hit numpad 1, that's why. Uh, silver, which comes with, is here with lead, which are things I can use. Right. Let me get back to the shaft here. And then all the way down at the bottom, we've actually got I started a shaft here, which leads to poor gold ore and some iron. But here, all the way at the bottom, there's lava, and I use cobblestone and cobblestone walls here to keep it from catching fire. You know what? I will be right back. Excuse me. One of those interruptions you just can't avoid. Now, having lava down here is actually a pretty good thing because it means I'll be able to come here and retrieve some lava for my smeltery, which I will need to do soon, but I actually kind of need more iron, which is what I've been collecting things for. I also need to make some backpacks. What do I want? I need some cobblestone, because I need some cobblestone rods. And all the coal I can gather. Why do I have... You know what? Never mind. There we go. Rather brilliantly, I've actually... Oh, wait. You know what? I can do this. If you put the cart in a crafting grid, you'll get a... whatever was in that cart back. So I can actually take this and put this stuff in the chest. And get all this stuff in here. I'll retrieve that later. One of the advantages to this mine design is, even though this is covered with torches now, if I want to do a little more automatic mining, I can actually use railcraft elevator tracks and run them up this side, and it's relatively simple to set up a push-button automation system to have it send the cart up to a specific level, or from the top. If I were so inclined, I could actually set it up to the level I'm mining at, and have it automatically come up or down, depending on what level I'm mining from. So, I can explore explore the caves, and then come back and just dump stuff off and have it automatically go wander off for sorting, or probably I may or may not process here. Oops. But mostly it's important that things look like stuff is being done. Now, like I said, this will be a mining town, but I do have Pistronics installed, which means I can actually have... Okay. I don't know what the difference is. But basically I could actually have a piston-based, or a fake piston-based mining system, and have my mining laser sitting at the bottom of the mine shaft, and have them produce ores, which are then placed on a Pistronics conveyor belt, which is a little bit trickier than it sounds, but I think it can be done. And basically you just phooey. Basically you send it up and then the block gets pushed off, say over here, and then either broken or broken in some manner, and then sucked into the and sent via minecart to a teleporter. Or basically, the whole idea would be to have, rather than using dimensional transceivers to move item to just teleport items, I could teleport entire carts full of items. So it's not actually not a bad trade, all things considered. Probabilistic drones for Meadows drones. No, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of the plan. Basically, have the cart disappear down a tunnel that's too small for me to fit, and that, but basically it's running over a dimensional transceiver that is with an ender rail on it and teleports it back to the wherever I'm processing, or whatever village I'm processing in. I have to go do some more exploring for another village to process in, but that's fine. Like I said, I'm not limiting myself technologically the way in this series the way I am in my other series, because I'm doing a train series. I don't need to do two train series at once. I really like trains, but everything gets boring after a bit. So that's what caused me to get sidetracked onto this, because I'm enjoying the trains. I really am, but some points about trains being a complete pain in the neck are absolutely valid. And so, what I'm basically... Yeah, this cave's a complete dead end. Brilliant. All that work for nothing. But yeah, trains can be a real pain in the neck. And so, to keep myself from getting bored and just stopping work on the series, I started up a second one. And this time I'm using mods that I would not have in my other series because they did not fit the idea of the series, which was trains. And so let's go ahead and have a little a little bit of an explore here. It's actually in here anyway. A blocked off dead end. Brilliant. Ooh. Hello. Alright. Stop. Thank you. Yeah. Is there somebody behind me? No. Right. I shouldn't be exploring this thing with wrecking? I don't know what wrecking does. Yeah, I shouldn't be exploring this with a full inventory. Alright, this is actually the better one. Fish and rice cake. Or rice cake. What's in here? In here we have unbreaking surplus pentacle defense. Brilliant. This looks like a top of the building book rather than a bottom of the building book, which is odd. So unless something's changed about their design since last time I investigated roguelike dungeons, yeah, what I really need to do... we're actually almost out of time for this episode, which is fine. We need to head back to the village home, and I'm actually going to get started with some magic mods, and one I've done before, which is Ars Magica. I've done it somewhat before, and one which I've never actually played with myself, which is Britannia. But I've watched a lot of Direwolf do it very often, and I've also watched Dr. Ragehard's, or am watching Dr. Ragehard's excellent Surviving with Britannia series, where he's basically doing everything with just Britannia. So I'm gonna grab a book and an item frame and head to that mana essence pool. And next time, when we come back, I should have some of the beginning stuff done. I'm hoping that by the time I come back, I will have skipped over day blooms and nightshades and gotten to thermal lilies, where I can burn items for power. Oops. But until then, but that's for next episode. So until then, this has been Triax 2 and the Great Village Project. I will see you guys next time. Bye.